families and friends. I'm Erin Palmer, school occupational therapist. I hope you're doing well and getting excited for our last week of school. I know I am. I'm certainly going to miss all of you, but I hope that you have a wonderful summer and that you can enjoy spending time with your families and hopefully enjoy a little time outside. Today I wanted to share one last activity. I wanted it to be fun, but also incorporate some of the things that we have been working on this year. And so that is bubble painting. And I want to kind of show you what a bubble painting looks like first. So this is a bubble painting with one color, and here's a bubble painting I made with different colors. And it's a really fun way to produce some cool art that can stand alone on its own, or that you can use to make other projects, and we'll talk about those too. So let's get started. So first, all you need is a little bit of paper. You can use any paper that you have at home is fine. Of course, printer paper is fine. If you happen to have paper like white construction paper or other construction paper or drawing paper, that's a little bit thicker and is sometimes easier because the paper tends to get wet, with the bubbles. So I'm going to take my sheet here with that, and then I do recommend wearing a smock of some kind. So, at home you might have a smock that looks like this, but my favorite smock is actually just a big old t-shirt, and that works really well to keep some of the splatters off of clothes. Also, this is a great activity to do outside if you can. In case you spill anything, it's a lot easier to clean up outside, and then the wind also tends to dry the paper faster. But you can work wherever, is good for you and for your family. So the other thing that we need would be some liquid bubbles. And if you don't have those, that's okay, because you can also do this project with dish soap. And if you use dish soap, you would also use a little bit of water, and I'll show you what that looks like. You're going to need a bubble wand, if you have one, and then a cup of some kind. So you may want to use, a plastic cup, maybe even a disposable cup. That's up to you guys. I'm using this clear glass cup today just so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit easier. It also would be helpful to have some food dye or food coloring. Now, you can use, there's the gel kind, looks like this. There's also kind of the regular liquid food coloring, and that works too. So whatever you've got at home is fine. If you only have one color, that works. If you have more than one color, you can do that too. So there's a lot of flexibility with this activity to kind of incorporate and use whatever you have. So, and then I definitely would recommend having some, either a cleaning cloth that you don't mind getting a little bit dirty close by, or some paper towels. Okay. Oh, I did want to note that online, if you look up bubble painting, there are a lot of different sites and even videos that can walk you through this process. And a lot of them do it in different ways. Some of them I know use paint, they might use a straw to blow bubbles. I tried a few of them out, and this was the one that I found was the easiest for me and kind of I thought might work best and be one of the safer options. So, but feel free to explore that too. All right, so I've got my paper, and now I'm gonna make a color. You can see here that I already made a couple colors. We have, what color is that? Blue, good. Yep, you can see, there's blue. And how about this color? Red, good. It looks kind of like a red-orange. And now I think, you know what, I think I'm gonna go with the gel. This color, green. All right, and I'm gonna use some bubbles. Okay, so I'm using 2 hands, open my container. I have to take out my wand, and I'm gonna pour in a little bit of bubble solution, enough so it kind of covers the bottom there. Put my cap back on. Sorry, okay. And I'm gonna open my food dye. This is definitely a step where I recommend adult family members help or supervise, because we don't want the food dye to get on anything that it might stain permanently. And then also it tends to come out a little bit quickly, and we don't need too many drops, right? So I'm gonna try to put in 3 drops. And again, I am using 2 hands to do this. 1 hand to hold and 1 to squeeze. 1, 2, you know what, let's see how we did with actually with just the 2. I'm gonna mix it. So I'm stirring it up. Again, using 2 hands. I'm kind of holding it up for you to see, but usually I do that on the table. Ah, I think we got it. All right, put my cap back on. Put that away. If you're using more than 1 color and you have multiple bubble wands, you can put 1 wand in each color. If you don't, that's okay too. Just like you do when you're painting, you can have a little bowl of water that you can use to kind of wash off your wand between colors, right? So that's just another thing that you might want to have handy. Okay, so now I'm ready. I am gonna actually blow some bubbles here, trying to aim them onto the paper. And it's okay if some of them just splatter. It gives a really cool like paint splattered effect. So I get some solution on there, kind of wipe it off a little, and then blow my bubbles. And you can see some of them land on the paper and burst, and some of them might actually stop on the paper. I don't know how well you can see that, but my bubble is on the paper, not moving, and I'm gonna burst it. And then it leaves a really cool circle there. So basically this is the really fun, free-form, creative part where you can add as much design or as many sort of bubbles as you want to. You can keep going with just your 1 color. Sometimes when the bubbles burst, it might splatter a little bit back onto your face, so just be careful and know that could happen, and you're gonna wanna wash your face probably and your hands after doing this. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more with my green. And so there's my green. I think I'll add a couple more colors just so you can see. So here I'm taking my red orange. Again, always using 2 hands. And so that is the red orange. Good. And now I think I'll add a little bit of blue. So I don't have a third one, so I'm going to take one of the other ones and rinse it off in my water here. Okay, so here is my blue. I like that blue. And you can keep going, you know, if you have more than one piece of paper, you could certainly do more than one at a time. And you can kind of play with the design so that it looks how you want it to look. I don't think I mentioned, I'm sorry, if you don't have bubble solution at home, how we could make that. And so basically you would just use some liquid dish soap and put a little bit in the bottom, about a couple tablespoons, a tablespoon or two in there, and then mix with a little bit of water. So we're gonna just add a little water, and then you would also stir that up. So I have some in here, and I found that the dish soap also works really well. You can add your food coloring to make it the color that you want. You might have to play with the ratio or how much soap you use and how much water a little bit, depending on the type of dish soap that you're using at home. Okay, but feel free to kind of play around with that, adding just a little bit of water at a time until it's, you know, just right and kind of like a bubble solution where it will blow some bubbles for you. So we could actually make this one yellow. I'm going to use liquid dish soap, and I'm just going to add a drop there. Stir it up. Always try to clean up as I go along so that we don't have to, you know, have a big mess at the end, right? So there's my yellow, and I'm going to blow a couple bubbles. Yeah, actually the dish soap makes a really nice bubble solution. And there you go. So there's your bubble painting, or your bubble painting paper. So this is its own, I think, really fun and really beautiful work of art. Now this could be something you hang on to and just stop here. But if you want to kind of make this a paper that you use to go on to create other projects, then stay with me and I'll show you, a few ideas for using this paper in different ways. I do want to note that it would be great if you could let your paper dry. It doesn't take too long, usually maybe only an hour or two. It might dry even faster if it's outside, with the wind and the sun. So I'm going to set this to the side and show you some paper that I had already made earlier. Sometimes the colors dry a little bit deeper over time, so it might look a little bit light to start with, and then as it dries, you get some really beautiful deeper colors. So there's one with my red and my green and blue. That was a different green. Here's one that's all blue. And then let's look at a few ways. So here we made a flower out of our bubble paper, right? Oh, we made our flower design, placed it, cut it, and then added the stem and the leaf from some construction paper. So that's one option, and there is a separate video that I will also share that kind of walks you through step by step how to do the flower, especially with grown-up support. So there's one option, and then Here, this one, we made a car out of our, that's a very cool car. I would like to see a car with paint like that. And this actually turned into a birthday card. So we took our piece of construction paper, we folded it, right? Folded in half, and then on the inside, did a little decoration and happy birthday, Sam. So that's another idea. This can be a really fun and special way to make a birthday card or any card. And I'll actually show you another card. Here, the bubble painting paper is the outside of the card itself, right? So we just took that and we folded it in half. And then, might be a little hard to see on the video, but on the inside, we glued a piece of loose leaf paper and a message. So this is actually a thank you note, and it says, "Dear Grandma, thank you for helping me with my schoolwork. I learned a lot and you helped make it fun." So, and then again, a little drawing at the bottom. So this could be awesome paper for a card, where if you wanted to write on the inside, you could glue on separate paper, or you could just even write on top of the bubble paper too. I think it makes a beautiful card. And then kind of last, but certainly not least, using the paper to make a sign. So I know some of you might be enjoying parades or car parades by your homes or in your neighborhoods from school this week. Some of you, might just want to share your feelings with a sign like "Happy Summer," "Congrats," "Class of 2020," whatever it, or other important messages that you want to share. And this could be some eye-catching paper to use as your backdrop for that. So these are just some ways to incorporate your bubble painting paper. I know that you're very creative and can probably come up with a lot more ways. As always, if you try this out this week, families, feel free to share a picture of your child's efforts with me via email. Just it would be wonderful, to see what they have created. But I also wanted to say that I really appreciate all of your efforts and hard work this year, especially during our remote learning period. And you should be very proud of yourselves, friends, for all that you've done and kept learning. And I know all of the hard work that you've put in also into, doing this in a way that was really new. So thank you so much. And I hope that you have a great last week of school. I hope that you have a wonderful summer, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you again, however we meet again, whether it's virtually or in person in the fall. Okay, so take care. Hope to see you soon.